And now, Houston, Texas, make some noise because the time for talk is over. It's time to unleash the fury.
Boom.
Okay.
And just like that, the time for talk is now, guys. Welcome into the podcast.
It is actually time to talk.
It really is, man. Despite what you just heard, time to pour the live oak, pour the howler, get the drinks flowing, fresh off of.
What you drinking over here, Diego? It's like a cup of ice.
Cup of ice.
I got you. You got the live oak. We got some mixers right there for you.
Nice.
Try to get you some of that prime.
I'm gonna leave a little bit of live oak for you, Diego.
We're gonna do some Logan Paul shots when our special guest gets here today.
You know, are we gonna do the Logan Paul shot?
Yeah, we'll do a Logan Paul shot. We'll just mix in
Prime with howler.
a little prime with howler or prime with live oak.
Boom.
Either
Or that.
way.
Yeah. Or
Either
that.
way. Kiko, what did you pour in there?
Cream soda.
Oh, okay. It's Dr. Pepper and cream soda, sir.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oof.
How's everybody doing?
Hey, man, living
Pretty.
the dream, man. Another day in paradise. But not unlike our, fearless leader, Eric Garcia,
right.
noticeably absent. He's really living the dream,
He is
living in paradise
living
right now.
some type of dream doing that.
Probably getting oiled up by some beautiful beach girl or something.
Or he's doing the college visit, either.
Or maybe
Either way.
that. I mean, it could be possible.
It could be getting
but maybe.
oiled up.
But he
on
might
the-
be getting oiled up somewhere.
on the college visit. Who knows?
Don't get jealous, Diego.
I don't.
That's a lie. don't let Diego lie to you.
Diego's still in tech mode.
Hey,
over
look,
here,
it's
man.
Van. Hey, Van.
Hey, Van. You
Van.
know what's up with the monitors?
No, I mean we're recording, but you're
Yeah,
fine.
We're live, but go ahead, man. This is how we do it.
Hop on in.
Yeah, you want to do an interview?
So like 4 or 5 panels were
So
not
when did you
working.
lose
I
your
turned it off.
virginity to that man, Van?
What was his name?
What was
Or
his
at
name?
least the scent of his cologne.
He looked like a girl.
He looked like
Hey,
a girl.
yeah, hey, Eddie Murphy had that same problem.
That's
a while
all
back,
that.
man.
That's all that matters.
Sometimes they just look like it, right?
Who was that? Who was the other guy? Hugh Grant?
Yeah, Hugh
Didn't
Grant.
Hugh Grant
I
get him
think
one
he
of those
did too, man. Now that you mention it,
He got him a download?
God dang, pal. Hey,
Hey,
stay
listen.
vigilant.
Hey, listen. If you're in the Transformers, that's perfectly fine, man. I hope you
man.
find your way. I wonder if he
More
he
than
had
meets
to,
the eye.
He had to know, right?
You have to know. Once you get to a certain point, you have to know.
I don't. Well, yeah.
I don't know. I guess it depends on how much work has been done
How?
under the hood, man.
Well, that's like saying, like how hot do they need to be before I'm not gay for wanting to bang that dude?
Hey, ask Lamar Odom. Have you seen Lamar Odom's significant other?
I have.
Yes.
And hey, shout out to Pride Month.
Yeah, man.
That's a way to start right
Boom.
there.
Love is love. Shout out.
Love is love.
Get you some of it.
As long as you are happy, I don't care who you were balls deep in.
Same.
Or scissoring.
None of my business at all.
Except for you, Diego. I'm pretty sure it's most dudes. What are you staring at back there?
Just the panels.
Are you counting the panels?
Mm-hmm.
Diego looks confused. Van, are the panels fixed? Or are we just going? See, look,
Van the man is evaluating the
those
area.
are the ones
There's
that you
the
don't
affected
see the
area,
blue,
doctor.
sir.
Boom. There is one, and up there is another.
You guys on OnlyFans right now are getting the behind the scenes.
Boom. Look at that.
We were at DNA Studios.
Look at that technical difficulty unfolding right before your very eyes. We're still
Dana?
live on Instagram.
Is it DNA or Dana?
Dana, right?
Dana
Studios.
Studios. We are live on OnlyFans right now, and then we
okay.
will go over to Instagram here in about 20 minutes.
Kick ass. So we need to have the ring girls come live on OnlyFans sometime whenever we're doing.
We can make that happen. Yeah, I mean Amanda lives here locally. Emily's here. Shelby's here. Audra, who's our main ring girl, number one,
the lead,
the
ring girl lead,
the lead.
The EVP of the ring girls.
The EVP of the ring girls. I like that. She's the conductor of the whole train.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
Hey, I did not call any of our lovely ring girls out. I did not call them.
That was definitely just a reference that you got.
Yes, definitely.
And there were other people on here who got
Shout
that
out
reference
to
as well.
Charles Wright, the Godfather.
That's a big man.
Yeah, he is, dude.
Hey,
Met him a while
speaking
back.
of
He's
big
fun.
men, we got a new heavyweight amateur champion this weekend.
Yeah, we do, man. Terrence Chapman pulling off, man, in spectacular fashion, dude. How long did that thing last,
41 seconds,
Yeah,
I think
41
you said.
seconds. Yeah. Incredible, dude.
Yeah,
Incredible.
you know, it's funny. I feel bad for Brandon Evans because I don't think he got to really. You really didn't get to see how good he actually is. Brandon got look.
Is that his name, Brandon Evans? Because
I'm sorry, Brandon Genovese.
Okay.
He did change his name. Yes, so Brandon's a good guy. And, you know, he's actually a very good fighter. But, man, those low kicks must have been crazy hard for him to fold that way. Like, it had to have been.
Dude.
Because he's not a new fighter either.
Terrence Chapman's been working with some animals.
Yeah.
At the 4-ounce fight club. You know, Daniel Pineda's in there. Machine Gun Young. You know, Frank is even there.
Oh, Frank is even there.
I love Frank, man. That's my dude. But, dude, I mean, to nobody's surprise, man, Terrence Chapman's experiencing a lot of success early in his amateur career.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, you know, where he evolves because I don't think we've got to see a hard fight from him yet.
I don't think so either.
You know, when I look,
he's 4-0 now, and he's almost made it look easy.
He really has. You know, and I really thought Brandon was going to be the biggest fight hurdle that he would face.
Arguably, he was, and Terrence made easy work of it.
He did. Made
it look easy.
Yeah, he did make it look easy. But I want to say no one's got out of the first round yet with Terrence. So he's beaten everybody in the first round. Well, 2 fights right at the bell. And then Christian Monk 245, and then Brandon Evans in 41 seconds. So, you know, according to the Tapology rankings, that puts him as the #1 amateur heavyweight in Texas. Which, if you hold the Fury belt, of course, you're the #1 amateur Fury heavyweight in Texas.
Yeah, right. Who else would it be?
And you know, I'm excited to see where we go from here. I'm looking to find a bigger challenge for him, which is so hard in some of these weight classes. Like in the female classes and the larger male classes, it's hard sometimes to find a challenge. But
no doubt. Are we looking to keep him on the amateur side of things, or is he looking to go pro?
I think, you know, from my understanding, I think he's looking to maybe defend the belt.
I think that'd be a good idea for him. I mean, just to try and get, you know, a bigger challenge. I mean, whenever you go amateur 4-0, all first round finishes, I mean, you kind of want to go into the deep waters
before you go pro.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before with, you know, some of his guys. I think that would make sense to
get ugly,
to hang out a little bit longer on the AMU side. But I'm all for, once you get around 5 fights, I'm all for, you know, making that jump and getting paid for what you're doing, man.
Yeah, and I think, you know, with him, very similar to what we experienced with Miles Banks, you know, it wasn't until Miles' 3rd fight that he actually got out of the first round.
Yeah.
And that was 5 rounds with Brent Campbell, who at that time was the closest we could get to somebody his size as well.
Yeah.
So I think we may get one more amateur fight out of Terrence. I think as a coach, I would like to see him tested. You know, his very first fight, he was somewhat tested in that he got caught. He got hit. Like I said, I didn't say he got caught. He got hit. Yeah. You know, I mean, Minkana, I think is how you say it. You know, it was a good fight, and Terrence finished him at the end of that fight. But I definitely would like to see some more resistance to him. But we'll see where that goes. Congratulations to the new champ. And speaking of defending champions, David Puente and Riley Redgrave threw down in our main event, and Riley Redgrave came out on top in a fun performance.
Yeah, man. He gets the rear naked choke, 215 into round number 2, and still Riley Redgrave. That was his 3rd fight?
His 3rd fight.
That is incredible, man. Like, I think he had, 1 win, and in the second fight, he had to fill in for somebody or something happened. He gets a title shot in the second AMI fight.
Yeah, so he won his first fight, and then some of it honestly is a lack of depth at these bigger weight classes. Yeah. And we gave him the opportunity to fight for the belt after his 2nd fight, and he won. Dude,
man, props for him for going for that, because a lot of guys, whenever that comes so early, a lot of guys might feel like, oh, hold on, man, I'm not ready for that quite yet. It's only my 2nd fight. Are you kidding me? No way. He was like, no, fuck that. Put me in there. Let's go. And
Yeah, and shout out to his team, Zach Henson, Alyssa Cantu. They're doing a lot of great work out there.
Oh yeah, they've got some killers, man, coming up.
Yeah, they do.
They've got like a lot of talent coming up. Alyssa Cantu was raising a lot of hands this last week.
Yes, she was. It's cool to see how her gym and business has progressed over the last few years.
Yeah, man.
Because I want to say when she first started off, they were really more focused on the performance side of it. And slowly they've added more and more fighters to their team, and they're a fun team. They're definitely a fun team to see represented out here in town. So congratulations to the champ. And then I think a shocker to maybe very few. Man, Sebastian Orvides made quick work of Gage Harper.
Man, that was the fight I was looking forward to the most because I love both of these kids, man.
Yeah.
They're both they're so good at what they do. And I just knew that Gage was ready for this opportunity, and Sebastian was ready for it as well. They both had that chip on their shoulder. They got that confidence, that swagger to them. You knew it was going to be a banger. And, man, we talk about guys making it look easy. Sebastian Orvides almost made it look too easy.
Yeah,
Gage Harper is no walk in the park. He's not somebody you'd expect, to lose a fight in a minute, but
I don't mean to
Sebastian
take
pulled it off.
anything away from Sebastian, but Gage didn't seem. He seemed a little bit not maybe locked in when the fight started.
The bright lights got to him. You think?
I don't know, man. He's had 9 fights already by the time he got here.
Right.
Maybe so. I'm really not sure, but I definitely don't. That wasn't the best Gage Harper.
No, it wasn't.
We've seen, but that was a hell of a performance from Sebastian Orvides, and I can tell you that the takedown that he hit, that double leg that he drove Gage across the cage, that wasn't I'm pulling guard to get to your back. That was a statement, and he ran through him.
Yeah, it was.
And then I don't know if there's better back control in maybe pros or amies right now in his division. When he gets to somebody's back, it's a wrap. He's such an expert at locking up that arm.
If there is, who is it?
And he's finishing these chokes with one arm.
Yeah.
So he's using one hand to hold off their what would be their hand to defend with. Mm-hmm. His legs have locked up the other hand. You are fucked.
You're in big trouble if Sebastian Orvides is on your back.
Yeah, Gage Harper did everything he could, and he did everything right in that moment in defending. He did everything that you would want to see.
Or Orvides just did it righter.
Yeah.
107.
How bright.
Tap out to a rear naked choke.
19 years old.
And he's 4-0. He's defended his flyweight title. I mean, he's got to go pro now, right?
So I'm not sure. Well, there is somebody who wants to fight him, and we'll talk about him in just a second.
Is it the guy on Facebook that got drunk and started posting stuff?
No,
not that guy.
No, not that guy.
Gage will know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. I was talking with his coaches there, and in the moment, it's a little hard because there's all the adrenaline, all the action, everything's happening. And I'm talking with Eves, I'm talking with Tony, and it's kind of like one of those things like, well, what do you want to do now? Because still, he hasn't been tested. And when I say tested, that doesn't mean the opponent that's in front of you, but someone to take you to a dogfight. Mm-hmm. Someone to I always use Josh Aliman as that example, in that his first 3 fights, he finished everybody in the first minute.
Right.
And it wasn't until he got to fight Arlton Audrey that he ran into resistance.
Yeah.
And that resistance proved to me at that point, well, this kid's ready to go. Mm-hmm. But at some point as well, is there just so much talent that there isn't resistance available? I mean, is that what we're seeing with
that could very well be the case. I mean, there aren't a lot of guys that are that good at this stage of the game.
And what a nice kid too.
Yeah.
Is there a better walkout song?
I knew we were going to segue to it at some point. Man, dude, there is not.
He was singing it too.
Yeah.
I tell you, if you guys want to see a great moment and feel something deep, watch the smile on Eve's face as that kid is walking out. That kid's walking out. The music's hitting. He's hitting his swag.
I was convinced for the longest that Eves had to have picked that song for him. No, he picked it. Yeah. And I was like, you picked that? He's like, yeah, man, that's a fucking jam.
Dude, it's a banger. Yeah. It's a banger. It's an absolute banger.
I like
Careless Whisper.
It's good.
Wham.
They're all good. That kid is super, super talented. I do think we'll see a big bounce back from Gage. I don't think he stays at 25. He's filling out. Like, he's getting older. It's funny to think I saw the picture he posted with the belt years ago when he was like a first fight amateur. He was like 17 years old or something, So
Do you think the weight cut had something to do with it?
It could. Again, I don't want to take anything away from Sebastian's performance, so it's hard to just say it was that, but it could be. You never know. I want to say Gage's last few fights before that were at 35. And so I don't think he had cut down to 25 in a little while. Now, I could be wrong. Let me see real quick.
Yeah, I thought he fought at 125. I didn't.
He fought at 35.
I don't recall him fighting at 135, but I'm not. He very well could have.
So he hadn't cut down in almost a year. No. Well, it had been about 8 months since he had cut down to 25. His last fight was actually at 35 versus Issei Garcia. So he's kind of bounced back and forth. He's definitely filling out though.
Yeah.
So I think
135 may end up being a better landing spot for him. I think, especially as he gets older and puts on more muscle mass.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to make the change now from OnlyFans over to our Instagram. While I'm doing that, Wayne, tell me about our sponsors, baby.
Boom. Here we go, guys. Man, DeNunaLawFirm.com. If you get into any trouble, Diego, do you have his number saved in your phone?
No.
713-257-8889. That's 713-257-8889. Or you can visit them online at DeNunaLawFirm.com. Look, man, just put it in there now. Save it. Maybe you don't need any legal help. Maybe you're not in any legal trouble, but you never know when you're going to need it. Put it in your phone now. Save it for later, just in case. Trust your boy. Trust your old pal Wayne. DeNunaLawFirm.com or 713-257-8889. Also, we got this Live Oak Texas vodka flowing. The Howlerhead whiskey's right there. We're going to do some shots a little bit later. But, man, this Live Oak vodka, it's the stuff, man.
I love it.
I'm converted. Like, how many times did when we were pouring these drinks, and Eric's like, hey, Wayne, have you tried this Live Oak? I'm like, I'm sure it's great, but I'm not a vodka guy. I'm going to stay on my whiskey. I like the whiskey. Dude, I'm converted, man. I've been like, this is what I drink poolside. This is what I've been drinking on the last few podcasts. Man, this is the good stuff right here, man. It's smooth, no hangover, no headache, quality ingredients, deep roots, strong branches, Live Oak Texas vodka, baby. Who else we want to hit?
Yeah, I think I agree, man. I'm a convert right now as well. Now I'm drinking Howlerhead whiskey right now, so I am a whiskey guy.
Same.
I drink old fashions.
Same.
I drink old fashions, some dark beers. That's my go-to.
Whenever we talk about old fashions, I remember that trip to Colorado, man. We tore it up. I don't know how I pulled out that show the next day.
Is an old fashioned the manliest drink? I think a whiskey neat is probably the manliest drink. But if you're going to be a fancy man, you go with an old fashioned.
Yeah, if you're going to button up to the top, do an old fashioned.
Yeah, if you're just trying to soak your woes away, whiskey neat. But if you're trying to enjoy your night, talk to some ladies or some fellas, whatever.
Yeah,
it's 2024. It's okay.
Whoever,
it's okay.
Whoever you're talking to,
it's an old fashioned. It's an old fashioned for sure.
For sure, man.
Hey, big shout out also to Sheath Underwear, keeping our ring card girls looking awesome in their outfits, running around.
Private label
bags. And Space City Collective, giving us the best kicks that you can get. Thank you guys, as always, for being amazing sponsors of our podcast. And don't forget, Kimura Tattoo Company. Shout out to Terrence Chapman, who picked up the Kimura Tattoo Company.
Oh, so he's getting a new tattoo from Ronnie Bierley, huh?
That's right.
Nice.
Hey,
badass.
And shout out to Fat Boy Barbecue. They hooked up all the fighters last weekend at the weigh-ins.
Oh, wow.
With some free barbecue.
Oh, damn.
And hey, go out to Porky's. Go out and see Fat Boy Barbecue. Absolutely amazing, delicious barbecue.
Porky's Backyard in Humble, Texas, guys. If you're in the Houston area, I can't recommend like a fun party spot any higher than I can recommend Porky's. That place is fun, man.
Yeah,
they got all kinds of food trucks surrounding the spot. They got a nice hub in the middle with a fully stocked bar with a great staff, plenty of indoor seating if you need that. But yeah, dude. Porky's Backyard. That's where it's at, man. That's like a hidden gem. I knew nothing about that place until we started doing the weigh-ins out there. What a fun spot, man.
So we're not going to.
Diego, have you been out there yet? Oh, dude, you got to get out there, man.
We're not going to recap the entire amateur card, but there is a fight that I wanted to.
I wanted to at least touch on those, but yeah,
I wanted to talk about Lestat Pleasant versus Jay Aldretti.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit!
What a fight.
Jay Aldretti is 17 years old. And he has the confidence of a 15-fight veteran.
He does.
and not just the confidence, but the ability that he's pulling, the stuff he's pulling off.
You remember whenever you were 17 years old, how confident you were, man?
Yeah.
Imagine like.
I was so confident I joined the Army.
Same here. Sure. Yeah.
But no, I mean, whenever we're young, we have that confidence, that youthful ignorance, whatever you want to call it. But this guy, he's got like the pedigree to back it up, man. He's 3-0 now. His trajectory is the fucking moon right now. I mean, he's kind of on that Sebastian Oyer-Vides train, man. He's so talented. It's hard. I'm sure it's hard to find matchups for him.
You think Sebastian and him are in that Josh Van journey?
Yeah,
very well could be.
Yeah, I definitely do. I think they're very similar. Listen, to be completely honest, I'm trying to make that fight happen. I think Sebastian wants to defend the belt or go pro. One of those two things will happen. If he defends the belt, it'll be Jay Aldretti. Jay Aldretti has earned the title fight, and man, no doubt. When you talk about style, now listen, Jay Aldretti's just like Oyer-Vides in the fact that he's been on the mats since he could walk. I remember stopping into Urban Jungle. It's probably been about 10 years, and I was there with Classy Grappler out there just doing some rolls, and I saw this kid. And I want to say he was probably an orange belt maybe at that time. So he'd been doing jiu-jitsu for a little bit. Yeah. He's all inverting and doing special. I'm like, okay, that hurts my body just watching him. But he had this confidence about him. And I'd watch him roll with Classy and everybody. He had this, he was very, very confident. And, the biggest question everybody had was when he transitioned to MMA was, would his striking catch up with his grappling? His striking was good. His striking, man. I mean, dude, he just took Lestat Pleasant 3 rounds, man. Yeah, he took the best that Lestat had to offer. Well, I was talking about Sebastian there for a second, sir. But how dare you? But yes, back to Jay. Well, I mean, we were talking about Jay. Yeah. We're going back for and listen. I think that's the fight to make. I do think that Jay Aldretti is extremely special in fighting. Just like Sebastian, there are guys who, when you see them, you just know. You watch them move around a little bit. You watch them fight. Like, we all knew Josh Van was special. And I don't just mean he rode that bus. I mean Josh Van. Josh Van was special from the day he stepped into a Fury cage. And there's been a lot of fighters like that. But when you see them live and you watch them progress, it's impressive, man. It's been really, really fun to watch his progression. And shout out to Jay. Absolutely bonkers performance. He was talking to us in between rounds. He didn't want to sit down. Yeah. He was just having a drink, walking around and asking. He's telling me and Eric, and you say, he's like, that's the best y'all had. He had a lot to say in between rounds, man. Last podcast we were talking about how what a firecracker Lestat Pleasant was. Yeah. Jay came back over and he's like looking at me and Eric. I thought you guys said he was a firecracker, man. This guy, man, he's got nothing. He's talking the shit, talking the noise. Yeah, he's saying that's the best y'all had for me. Yeah, that's the best y'all have for me. He's like, well, I mean, this guy's no slouch. No, Lestat Pleasant is very good. Trains at it with an amazing team out there at Next Gen with Chris Brennan and those guys. Hey, and I'll bet Lestat Pleasant comes back a little bit better. For sure. He's going to learn from this, man. So for sure. If they do run it back down the road, man, I don't know. Well, we'll see where we go from there. Congratulations to all the other winners from this weekend. It was an amazing card. Shout out to Anthony Johnson and Sean Tillman as well. Great performances out of those. Man, it was cool. I'm glad that amateur show was over because now we move on. We have 4 shows in a row. Yep. And this weekend, damn. This weekend is a busy-ass card. I got 5 guys fighting on this card. Dude, that's insane, man. We are going to you're going to have to delegate to some of your delegation strong style soldiers there, man. Delegation has begun. And there is, I'm very blessed to have Vic Gonzalez and Sidney Curry and Laz Garcia roll and Reggie Rodriguez out there, the Rodriguez boys, because, I could not do this gym on my own, and I could not do it to the level at which we are continually competing at without them. So those guys are going to be cornering most of the fighters out there that night. But just quickly, I'm going to run through the amateur undercard. We got John Slaney's taking on Zach Alteg, Anthony Moore and Chris Velarde, Matt Kreis and Jaden Wynn, Kaylee Cumby and Alex Lawal, Mauricio Torres, Jose Felipe, Damian Nunes, Ali Kushnud. That was pretty good, huh?
Hey, man, I don't have a lineup in front of me.
Mahul
so.
Samaratu.
Mumu's back.
The most smiles I've ever seen from a fighter.
Is he bringing a tennis racket with him?
I don't know.
He should. He should incorporate
He
that
should
into
walk
the gimmick.
out in full like
Yes.
tennis gimmick, like
Dude,
all white.
like full like 80s, like flip the polo
Yeah.
collar up around with the tennis racket, some short shorts. Dude, I need to get with this guy for his gimmick enhancement.
Mahul's taking on Alan Gonzalez. We got Stanley Ozaki, Nick Stout, Mark Alvarez, and Ivan Murillo all on our amateur undercard. It also featured, listen to some of these names we have on our professional prelims. Dylan Aguilar making his pro debut against Issei Garcia.
Boom.
Christian Lopez taking on Anthony Strapp. Jermaine Ponce taking on Tony Figueiredo. Finally getting Tony in the cage. We have his fights have fallen off a couple times.
For show Figueiredo.
Joseph Aguilar making his return, taking on Michael
right
Capone.
there. I like Joseph Aguilar.
And then the All-Star, Joshua Aliman, taking on Jeremy Alba.
Are there anyone else besides strong style guys on this card? I mean,
on the prelims? No,
there's like a lot of strong style names.
We got the entire prelims. But hey, the 125 title is on the line in Rosenberg, Texas, as we make the jaunt out to the Fort Bend Epicenter. Have y'all seen the Epicenter yet?
I've driven by it and I've seen it on television whenever AEW ran out there.
Beautiful.
Months ago. Looks like a beautiful venue, man.
Massive.
Dude. Paris Moran steps into the main event to defend his flyweight championship against Freddie Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Dude. Freddie Rodriguez spoke this into existence on our last San Antonio card, man. We didn't know. Because, I mean, I know you guys like to start putting guys in the title picture around like 8-9 wins or whatever, and I think he's just shy of that. Like, just barely below the line there.
Yeah, he is.
But he wanted it, and he kind of spoke it into existence. Boom, he gets that shot at the Fort Bend Epicenter against Paris Moran.
Yeah,
that's going to be a fight, man.
There was a few things that fell into place to make this fight happen. We were very lucky. I'm gonna say lucky, but the timing was just right as we went through.
Freddie was lucky.
We like some of the bigger record guys, Nick Piccinini, Joe Marpak. They're headlining next week.
Yeah.
So we did this card a little different. We had already made next week's card.
Who booked this June run we're on right now, man? Goddamn, pal.
So we had next week was supposed to be Fury 91, but then this Epicenter reached out.
Thing came up.
They reached out to us, and we're like, well, let's try it. And so we ended up having to come back, which is, we're lucky we have such a deep roster, but it's hard to go back when you got one card and then one card and go back and be like, okay, well now let's squeeze something in the middle and reach out to Paris.
Let's pull off 60 fights in 3 weeks. Let's do it.
That's
Who else?
Exactly.
Fuck it, let's go.
Who else is doing it? So we reached out, and Paris was like, dude, this venue is only like 20 minutes from my home.
Oh, man.
This is perfect.
That's perfect.
Let's do it.
Dude, hey, he better as well this hoe. There better be like 2,500 people
I'm
here.
sure there will be. I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, no, I'm sure
and
the people
when
are going to
you
show up
look
to
at
support Paris Moran.
styles make fights, but when you look at what type of fighter would you create to, in hopes on paper, stop a Paris Moran? And you would want a pressure heavy wrestler who can take some shots.
Yeah.
And maybe grind Paris down.
Freddie Rodriguez checks all the boxes.
Fits that to a T.
Yeah, man.
Now, the problem with that is you have to get through that blender of Paris Moran before you can get to his legs. And then it's not like he doesn't know how to wrestle.
The master tactician, dude.
Yeah, I mean, his striking is on point. He's very good at finding a
home. So technical.
Very, very good. Co-main event, we got Pena Alamov taking on undefeated Yadier de Valle.
Ooh, man, that's going to be a fight.
Everybody's getting excited for that one.
Dude, okay, you get all excited about the main event, and I mean, that could main event on its own right there.
Yeah. A lot of the time, I don't want to say I feel bad, but like Yadier kind of gets overlooked in the 145
Not by
division.
anybody who knows what the hell they're talking about and has been paying attention. Yadier del Valle, the Cuban problem. Dude, hey, I guess there's still like there's still a short window. There's still a short amount of time to get that Contender Series call up.
There's a shot.
And he would be one of those guys, Pena Alamov as well, that may have an outside chance of getting a call up at one of those later shows.
Yadi's ranked number 8 in Texas. And I think that's low.
That's a travesty.
Yeah, undefeated 6-0. They also have him ranked at 155 for some reason. But
a big boy.
Yeah, he's a problem for a lot of people out there, and he's coming into his own. I think he had a break where he was a little inactive.
Yeah,
and
I was going to say whoever's doing those rankings will give him the benefit of the doubt because Yadier was out of the game for a little bit.
Yeah,
and also Texas is just so deep with talent in that division.
Yeah, Yadier fought one time in 2021, one time in 2022, one time in 2023, and so far one time in 2024. Now, this would be a second fight in 2024, but he has not been very active.
Yeah.
Now, some of that is due to injury. Some of that's also due, he went to a different promotion for a little bit, and they weren't able to match him up. And that happens, and that's okay.
No comment, no thanks.
It's okay. He learned and he came back home.
We'll pour some Live Oak Texas vodka to that.
So it's a great co-main event as when you look at Pena Alimov. Pena's last fight was, I want to say, Justice Torres. And I want to say, he pulled off the victory in that fight, and Pena surprised some people because he was not the favorite coming into that fight. He was 3-1, I think, when he came into that fight, and taking on Justice Torres, who at that time was 8-1, if I recall, or 7-1, one of the two. Let me see here. Yeah, Pena was 2-1 when he fought Justice Torres at 7-1. And he also beat Tyler Matheson as well.
A little bit of an upset.
Yeah, he's not at 2-1. He fought a guy who was 7-1. At 3-1, he fought a guy who was 5-2. At 4-1, he's fighting a guy this is probably the closest to his record he's fought since his first fight. He lost his first fight to Isaiah Diggs and has been on a roll since then, winning four of his last 4. So it'll be interesting to see what we get from Pena, as he is a grappling heavy fighter. Like, he wants to smother you and slow you down, and Yadier can do it all.
Yes.
And so it'll be very interesting to see what type of fight we get from him this weekend. Feature fight of the night, Adam Smith taking on Jake Heffernan. The Grinder is returning.
Grinder is back. Hey, he filled in on a commentary for us.
He did.
Little debut at our last amateur show, and he goes from the commentary desk right back into the cage this following week.
Following along with his coach and teammate Alex Morano there, as he's able to come in and fight one day, and next day he can commentate as well. We haven't seen him since early 2023. He took on Matheus Camillo in that fight, and so he's been out for a little while. So this is a return to action for Jake. But it'll be interesting to see
for a while. Has he fought since the accident?
One time.
Okay, I thought
it might be twice. I don't remember.
I believe it's twice.
I think Luis Luna was after the accident. Fury 67. I think it was. I could be wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So,
Jake Heffernan on a hunting trip got Dick Cheney'd or something along those lines, I believe. Right.
Dick Cheney'd.
So something along those lines. Accidentally got shot in the arm or something, right?
Here, let me go grab our special guest.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Jake Heffernan, 9-4. I'm trying to go pull up his record. Yeah, that was grappling. That doesn't count. Lost to Alex Black. Hey, does it count if anybody loses to Alex Black?
No, because
it doesn't count, right?
It's not popular.
Yeah. I mean, Matheus Camillo. I think Matheus Camillo was his first one back after the accident, but I could be wrong.
It was here with Matheus Camillo.
Oh goddamn! No fancy introduction. We're just
what's up?
we're just bring her right.
It's
right
your
on,
turn now to do the
right in the
introduction.
middle of everything. All right,
Wayne,
boom.
hit him with it.
Hey,
hit him.
Boom. Welcome in to the newly debuted professional. Where did she find it? 135, 125. Where's she find 145? Like, where are we going with her? Wherever she
35.
wants to. Yum Olivia Beerley joining us in the studio. Insert applause right here,
We don't
Diego.
have cheering sound effects yet, do we?
Yeah,
Do we have sound
that would have been a
effects?
lot better.
I know.
But I'm like trying to, fill dead air, and he comes in, and then you just sit down, and it's like, goddamn, pal, we could have done a lot better than that.
Yeah, we could have. I was just excited. I saw the gold for the champ on the
but
eyes.
hey, she's here, and bad news for everybody else in front of her. She's cleared.
Cleared.
I got cleared. Yeah,
Clear
that's
for
why I was late
takeoff.
to get here.
She's ready to go in
Schnoz is
San
looking good up
Antonio.
there.
Yeah, we can.
So we're going to pivot from Rosenberg to San Antonio now.
Can we provide you a drink?
I would actually love a drink. I'm very thirsty.
Okay. Bartender Wayne.
I hear she loves Live Oak. How much do you love Live Oak?
I mean,
Like, do you like Live Oak or do you love Live Oak?
well,
do you like
considering-
live oak or do you love live oak?
That's like a trick question because I love live oak, but I don't know.
The lines don't
All right,
lie.
fill it up.
The lines
Come
don't
on,
lie.
ain't
Do you want to
scared.
leg it pour or do you want as conservative as you want to be? I'll pour. You tell me when to stop.
He is not conservative
He's
at all.
okay.
Yeah. And watch your drink, too, because he's got some Bill Cosby tendencies, but that's okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep my eyes in that.
Keep your eyes on him. So everything went well at the doctor, all cleared, ready to go?
All cleared. I got the paperwork like literally in the bag out in the car, so I'm going to turn that in, and tonight
Got
we're
nothing
going
in my
to
pocket.
some
It's a
faces.
roll of quarters.
So you've been training since, like, when did you get
Absolutely.
back? When did you get back to training after the nose?
That week, but I didn't start like obviously I wasn't allowed to get punched in the face,
Right.
but that's not going to keep me from lifting weights and doing some cardio and stuff. So started doing some fundamentals, but Pete was pretty protective about making sure that nobody hits me until I get cleared. So tonight he's a is there all right.
All right, so we got mixers too. You can go blue raspberry prime, or you can go ice pop, which I'm not sure what either of those are.
We're gonna do some blue raz.
All right, have at it. We have cream soda Dr Pepper, which I don't know. How
I don't know who would pour that in
I would
vodka.
say
I don't know why you would do that, but it's there.
I
We
have
also
that-
have some
I have that in my
lemon
house.
lime soda also.
I like some Sprite.
I'm not calling out names because they're not a sponsor. So lemon
lime soda.
or cream or cream
see
soda
them.
garbage water.
I can
right
see
here.
the fucking bottle right there.
Most people are listening in their
Oh.
cars or on their phones.
All right.
But yeah, for the YouTube audience, spoiler alert.
All right, so let's finish out this main card for this weekend's show, and then we'll get to some talk.
What do you think of the Paris Moran Freddie Rodriguez flyweight championship matchup?
I'm honestly excited for Freddie. I got to cross train a little bit with him up in Austin, and he was putting on a wrestling clinic. So, I mean, LA Fitness, I've run into a lot of people at LA Fitness, and it was right after our last fight.
You're
And
vice president of like Ass Kickery out there or
pretty
something,
much,
right? Yeah.
pretty much. I like to think that I'm the glue that holds that place together. But,
Probably are.
Yeah.
It's not the GM. Oh, sorry. I didn't say that out loud. I'm sorry. I don't know your particular spot. Just know GMs get overlooked. I guess I'm just saying. Woo!
That sounded personal.
It's
That sounded pretty personal.
personal feelings coming out for some
might-
old
you need-
days.
did you
Some
need
old.
a-
I need another drink. while we're at this.
No biggie, no harm, no foul. Rich was looking for a job when he found this one.
Hey, you're right. You're right. That's such a good line, isn't it? Yeah, you're
great.
welcome. You're welcome. Hey, also this weekend we have the debut of Austin O'Connor, two-time Division I national champion wrestler.
Getting a lot of national attention.
He's getting a lot of attention, but I have to say, Camden's getting overlooked.
Hey man, look. What the other guy, his name escapes me at the moment, is probably a good thing. But a lot of hype was coming in behind old buddy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying his name for reason. I don't want any heat or anything like that. But hey, you got to be careful when you come in making your debut like that, and you're taking on, especially somebody like a Camden Fontenot.
Yeah,
Don't get ended.
Camden, also has a wrestling background as well. 2016 was the boys' high school wrestler of the year. For those who forget, now there is a big difference, obviously, in the level of wrestling that Camden has achieved,
Right.
versus what Austin O'Connor has achieved. But also, let's be fair, like MMA wrestling is not the same as collegiate wrestling.
To your point, Camden hasn't achieved that, but he's training with guys like James Ford,
Yeah,
Kyle Todrank. So, I mean, maybe he hasn't achieved it, but he's training with guys who are on that level or close enough to it that I think he's going to be prepared. I think he's going to surprise a lot of folks whenever he takes on Austin O'Connor this Sunday.
DC is putting out a lot of love for Austin O'Connor,
Yes.
as he's supposed to.
Yeah, man, rightfully so.
The UFC is putting out a lot of attention on Austin O'Connor, as they are supposed to. I've gotten quite a few messages. How come you guys aren't promote? Well, we didn't promote Austin in the first place. We don't really go out and promote individual fighters.
Yeah.
If a media outlet picks that up, that's on them. That's not on us. So, but the UFC,
Maybe we should. You want to do some vignettes?
not at all. The UFC, we got too much to do. The UFC,
We can make
I know.
it happen,
I know
man.
they did an interview with Camden, and then I know that they were working with Austin O'Connor as well. And DC has said that Austin O'Connor is the best suited for fighting wrestler he's seen in a long time come out of college. That's big praise.
Oh, yeah. That's a
from
huge
from
endorsement,
Daniel
man.
Cormier.
From one of the best there is.
But again, there is a massive difference in debuting against somebody like a Camden fought. Now, Camden's already got 4 fights. He's been in the cage. He's made the walk. He's made the walk at Fury as well, which is completely different than fighting anywhere else. And that's not to be a knock on any other promotion, but
Of course
it is
not,
a
no.
knock on every. Like it's 2 different types of walkouts. Like it's completely different.
If Austin O'Connor pulls this off, he's done something. He hasn't just like come in and won a debut fight. Okay, yeah, clap. He's taken out somebody if he wins this fight.
Yeah, I understand the desire of like DC and some of these other coaches when they look and they go, well, this guy's just got to make a pro debut. Man, let him. Like it wouldn't have hurt him to have an amateur fight.
Yeah, it really
It's
wouldn't
okay.
have. Yeah.
It wouldn't have been that big a deal. It probably been a bit easier to match him. But I can tell you this: Cam was a 35er, and I don't remember how he reached out, but he was reaching out to me, and he heard that I was trying to match Austin O'Connor. And he was like, "I'll take that fight." I'm like, "Well, it's at 45." He's like, "Okay."
Dude, see, those are your guys.
Yeah.
Those are your kind of guys, man.
Yeah, I love fighters.
And how ironic he's a war guy. Just happens
Yeah.
to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting fight. Also on the card, we got Sophia King debuting against Becca Irwin. Long time coming for this debut of Becca Irwin, 125 pounds, and she may be the best debuting striking female that we've had on the roster at this point. No shade.
Ever in the history of
But,
Fury.
but she is
If
also.
she wants to meet me at 135, I mean, we can change that.
I love it.
She wasn't it One or Pride or where was she?
She was a K1 and
K1.
Glory
Okay.
kickboxer, and I want to say she was like 6-0 at Glory. Like, of course, their website's absolutely garbage.
Whoa! Allegedly.
No, Glory, your website sucks.
Maybe it's the network. I think the network is down.
7 wins, 2 losses. Extremely good striking. Teen, they call her the teen prodigy. Is she even a teenager anymore? She was 18 in 2019.
Oh.
What is that?
20-ish.
I don't know numbers.
Early 20-ish.
25.
Don't ask me to math whenever I'm that deep in the bottom
I'm
of
not
the
trying
live oak, brother.
I'm not trying to math, but she's been. We've been waiting for her to make this debut, going back and forth with her coaches, Michael Corley, waiting to see. Man, the kickboxing and Muay Thai world, it's so hard to like make a living doing that. I don't know why people just don't give a shit. Did you ever watch just kickboxing?
Never.
No.
No, I mean, I respect it and it's fun. And I think a lot of the fans that like MMA prefer to watch striking,
Yeah.
but there's an element of knowing that the takedown could be there.
How crazy is that?
You don't have the same type of like knockouts, and so, I mean, to some degree. I mean, sometimes it happens, but for the most part, it's just not as exciting. I don't. Think,
we
man.
did the LK series. So Legacy's running hot, and Mick, comes from kickboxing. He was
The real legacy.
the real
The real,
the real
okay.
one.
The real legacy.
The real, not-
Okay.
and
Not the.
and we wanted to do kickboxing. Mick was like, he was determined to put on some shows. And because when you look at kickboxing, you're right. Like, everybody wants to see the striking in MMA. Everybody loved Holloway Gaethje because it was a knockout. They were beating the crap out of each other. There was no takedowns. But you put that exact same fight with 10-ounce gloves,
It's not
and
the
no one
same.
cares.
It's not the same.
No one cares. Glory has failed over here. LK, we had fights where it was knockouts all over, and no one cared. No one cared. We did 3 shows, and Mick's like, well, fuck it, we tried, and Glory. No, just nobody cares, and I don't understand why. Because
It's the soccer of the fight game.
Wow.
soccer of the fight game.
You're
not wrong. You're
Everything's
not-
there. All the elements are there. This should be a hit. Everybody should love this. It's just not the same. It's not as exciting for whatever reason. People just don't. gravitate to it.
More people will tune in and watch boxing.
Boxing, I was about to say.
Yeah, they'll tune in and watch boxing than kickboxing. Damn, I want to see someone get their head kicked off.
That I don't understand, man. Like, okay, dude, we grew up like in the Tyson era.
Yeah.
Like when boxing was at its heyday, and boxing was great, and we love boxing. Vladimir Klitschko, like the list goes on and on and on.
Vander Holyfield.
But man, like I'm kind of with Eric. Like once you get like really exposed to MMA and you get deep in MMA, it's like, why would you watch that over this? I mean, this is so much better. And the point kind of holds true with kickboxing. as well,
Shout
I think.
out to my guy Barry Laminack. He dropped one of the greatest analogies I'd ever heard at that time. Boxing is called the sweet science. Well, he said MMA then is the complete science, because
Oh,
you're doing
nice.
everything. Love that. That's such a great line. You know what? Matter of fact, Barry didn't say that. I did.
Woo!
I'm taking that back from me.
I heard
The line
restaurant.
the line has been drawn and jacked.
You see, there's an
Barry
arrest
Lamb
warrant
Act.
for Barry.
Put that on a shirt.
For you, for stealing.
Oh, whatever, man. I'll get out of it. And then
Hey, Diego's filling his drink now. He's awake.
kicking off the card,
He's
we
in
got
here. He's
Anna
in here now.
Martinez and Valerie Soto. First time we've had 2 female fights kick off the Facebook the Fight Pass card.
Are we doing 2 chicks back to back?
We're doing 2 chicks back to back. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
I'm just asking.
We are
It's just a question. Why are you looking
raw
at me like
dogging
that?
it back to back.
Why are you just asking
like
me
that? So
Why are you looking at me like that?
We're stacking them. Like if you're gonna stack the 2 chicks.
I mean, most would pace themselves and maybe space those out. We're going back to
Yeah,
back.
no. If you stack them like Aunt Nummy, you just stack them up like
Yeah?
this.
Okay.
Then this is gross. Okay, so
Diego, why did you tell me to ask him that? Damn.
All right, so now, since we've talked about the past, let's talk about the future.
We're going to San Antonio. When?
7/12.
July 12th, Friday night.
July 12th, we'll see the return of
Olivia Beerley, all clear, ready to go. Who's she fighting? I don't have the list
I'll
in
have
front
a
of me.
name.
I don't think it matters.
Okay,
I'll have a
okay,
name.
okay. So
I'll have a name soon.
We're not ready to announce it yet.
No.
Okay,
No.
all right.
I'll have a name
I
soon.
legitimately don't know. I have no idea, so I'm just trying to find out.
I guess I could start sending you the cards. Like that
you know, that'd be cool.
I feel bad because like our commentators ask me, I'm like, yeah, I'll get it. No.
Yeah, you know, prep.
I've asked.
Who needs to prepare for this? Who needs to do any prep work to do this shit?
Good. Worry about
Just
what
go do
you
your
do.
job at the highest level possible. You know.
So
on
we're
the fly.
gonna spend some time today getting to know Yum Yum a little bit better. Where the hell did that nickname come from?
Everybody asks that question. And to my knowledge, it's based off of a movie.
Okay,
I don't know the movie, but I used to.
that could
Yeah,
be a problem.
Hey,
it could be a problem. So hey, if you want to get on there,
if they were pulling nicknames from movies, Yum
Yum
was.
Yum.
was
I mean, it's pretty good.
It
right?
could have
And
gotten a lot
I
worse.
think there's a lot of versatility to the name, so we're definitely gonna if that can apply to some marketing purposes, we'll use that. But it all started when I moved. So I started training for MMA in Chicago. And with work, they relocated me to Dallas. So I found a new MMA gym. And my very first time there was like a big hailstorm. And so the lights went out. And so MMA practice kind of turned into like grappling. And I was the only girl, usually the case. And the guys at first were kind of like going easy on me. And I was just taking full advantage of it. And so I could hear them like amongst themselves, like kind of be like, damn, who's this girl? Who is she? And finally the head coach just started calling me Yum Yum. Now, I don't know if he knows my real name, if he ever knew my real name, but for the entirety of the 4 months that I was there, it was always
he was
Yum
hitting
Yum.
on her. He was hitting on her.
He was just being a creep because you
Yeah.
know what it was. He was sitting there and he was like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Oh, that's Yum Yum right there." Oh, her. She heard it. Shit.
Yeah, so
Man.
and
Okay.
I even asked him. I reached out because whenever I made my second amateur fight, that was like the first time I ever applied a nickname, and I was like, "All right, so am I going to be embarrassed by this nickname?" And he told me it was based off of a movie where apparently it's like they're in this prison setting or something.
Oh,
This-
Yeah,
it gets better.
It gets better, right? No, hold on.
Sounds
Hey,
like
you're,
one of
you're
those.
lucky that you aren't like Olivia Balls Deep Beerley or something
This sounds
crazy.
like one of those Skinamax movies that would come on late
Olivia
at night.
Prison Shower Beerley or,
I
or
mean,
something crazy.
I had some stuff, but I knew that I didn't want to give myself my own nickname, right? Because I had a
Right.
whole list of things.
Yeah.
Right?
If you could have chosen one for yourself, what was at the top of your list?
I liked Lethal Live.
Okay,
Lethal
that's
Live.
not bad.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I had a bunch of people say something like the Blonde Bomber, but I think someone's already got that. I wanted something
Yeah,
original.
that's
That
Ella
sounds
Bronx.
kind of
Yeah,
overused. Sounds like that's
exactly.
probably been
Yeah.
used. So I
and
get
it's
it.
pretty, I mean, it's not original in my opinion. So when I asked him about it, apparently in this jail setting, prison setting, there's a bunch of different groups, and a new guy comes in, and he's getting explained all the different like cultures within the prison. He's the car thieves, whatever. And finally, there's this one guy off by himself, and they're like, "All right, what's this guy's deal? Like, who is he?" And the guy told him, "He's like, his name. We call him Yum Yum. The rumor has it he's a man eater. So I am Yum Yum, the man eater." And that's how.
So many.
That's-
Rich, lay out. Diego, go to a sponsor.
So to go to a completely different thing.
Here she comes. Watch out, boy.
What
She'll
got you
chew you
started?
up. That'd be
Like,
a better nickname. I think.
Why? That's so good. Why?
And
Why
she'd
did
come
you
out
get
to Hall
started?
& Oates during the walkout. Okay.
I mean, I played sports my entire life.
What sports?
So I was a gymnast from like 2.5 through 16.
Prison football.
Yeah.
She's quarterback.
I actually, my high school coach wanted me to try out for kicker for the football team because I played soccer.
Yeah.
Nobody watches that, right? But I played soccer. We've already established where that ranks.
But hey, just to backtrack, like I'm not like shitting on soccer.
You were
It's one of the
definitely-
greatest sports in the world. Like it's revered worldwide. It takes all the
Right.
talent in the world, like the cardio required. Like, there's so many levels to soccer. It's a chess match on so many levels, but you have to have an intelligent audience for it. So I mean, leave that where it is.
Okay.
Anyhow,
and I didn't end up doing it, right? But yeah, so I played sports my whole life, and then I went on to play college basketball, and then whenever I graduated, kind of started working. And
Wait, don't gloss over the college basketball thing. Like, what college? How'd you get college basketball?
she's dunking on Caitlin Clark, dog.
No, I'm 5'7", and I was not a point guard.
So was
I
Spud
went-
Webb. So was Spud Webb.
But yeah, right. So
Where'd you play college basketball?
So I started off at a Division II school in Kentucky, and then I transferred to Northern Kentucky. Ended up getting injured. I tore my MCL, and my senior year, part 2, I actually cheered for Northern Kentucky University. Go Norse,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Don't hold that.
Cheerleader.
Don't hold
When
that
did
against
you
me.
have
Please
time
don't hold that against
for
me.
all this.
I was broke and I needed money. I needed to pay my tuition, and so the gymnastics background kind of carried over, and I was able to cheer my senior year at Northern Kentucky. I honestly hated every second of it. It was the worst. It was the absolute worst. But I graduated debt free, so that was pretty nice.
Shout out Dave Ramsey.
Yes, actually,
So
I was.
what was your degree in?
I was pre-med in biology.
That sounds. I don't know what those words mean.
I was a nerd.
Smarty
I was a nerd.
pants.
Right.
You can't be a nerd and be the cheerleader. That's
That's why I didn't like cheerleading. I mean,
doesn't equate.
I was not. I didn't necessarily fit in, and I ended up watching the basketball. I mean, it was the best.
Pre-med
best seats in the house for
biology
basketball.
sounds like she could be somebody's biology teacher in high school.
She's one of those girls.
She's
I was
qualified.
such a nerd in high school and in college. I had the glasses. I was in the skirt
did
doing
have
the
the
cheerleading
glasses.
thing too.
Yeah, but then you see, the cheerleading
I was
stuff.
flying through the air doing backflips and shit. But
Well, again, I'm 5'7". I was the base. I was the ones holding the girls up in the air to do the So, but yeah, I did not like it. I did it, and I've got some fun memories. But my college went to the NCAA tournament, so that was pretty fun. But yeah, I wouldn't do it again even if I was paid to. I mean, I'd rather get paid to be hit in the face than to hold some pom poms, But then from there, like my career kind of started to take off, and I ended up in Chicago. So that was when 2020, the pandemic happened, the world shut down, and the gym shut down. And I don't know what it was like down here in Texas, but I can tell you that Chicago, they weren't playing. They took like rims off basketball courts in public settings. Like the parks were shut down.
God
They were
damn.
people wearing masks in their car by themselves. Like, it was
It's
some
hard
crazy
not
stuff.
to talk politics sometimes. It's really hard.
I
not
mean,
to talk
I think we
politics
align a
sometimes.
little bit on that, so I won't stop you.
Yeah.
I can tell you that I was.
We do. We've had some private conversations.
During-
We're very much aligned like that.
During that
the
time.
country didn't shut down. The government shut down the country.
country,
We had a
right.
rodeo. We were in the midst of kicking off and
Right.
firing up. And Sylvester Turner made an hey, don't pass out any more tickets. Send everybody home. Close down the rodeo. I mean,
Right.
so that was very political.
Well, when I was in Chicago, so St. Patrick's Day was like the last day before everything shut down. So I at least got to enjoy the Green River and St. Patrick's Day before
That's
the world
cool.
shut down. But yeah, I was going crazy. Like the gyms were shut down. Like there was nothing to do. It snows in May in Chicago, so it's not like I can just be outside doing stuff. And so that you don't really need a lot of space to hit mitts. And one of my friends at the time had started training with an amateur MMA fighter. And he was like, well, let me teach you some of the stuff that I learned. So I was like, all right, hitting things sounds pretty cool. Like I don't have anything else to do. So we started doing that. And the years of just like sports that I've done, the athletic ability was there. And then I've been weightlifting since I was 16. So it was very strong. And so, he was always gassing me up and I'm like, all right, this is my friend, whatever. Then I started working with his coach, and his coach was also like, hey, like you need to come to our gym. Like you're actually really good at this. And, obviously that competitive drive was still there. I had nothing really else to do. So finally I went and tried out an MMA practice and got kicked in the face really, really hard, but it was like awesome. I was like, okay.
It takes a special breed of human to get kicked in the face
Right.
and go, oh, hey, give me some more of that.
Right. Well,
I think once you get kicked, like hearing like I'm going to get kicked in the face, I don't want that. But then it happens and you realize, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought.
It's that fight or flight.
It lights that fire.
Exactly.
Generally, what I look for from a fighter, especially, is like if they get kicked in the face, the very next thing, are they trying to kick that person back in the face? Because you're what?
No, well, I went to take her down. As soon as I got kicked in the face,
Are
it was
you
like,
covering
I'm gonna
up
get you.
or are you kicking back?
Throwing back.
Yeah, no, it was so that fight or flight. I don't think I'd ever had a moment where I had to experience that. I've not really didn't get in street fights growing up or anything, but as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, it's on. Like, all right, you went, and then that's when I knew that this was for me.
Badass.
So you weren't born in Chicago. You said you went to Chicago. So where were you born at?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Where at in Kentucky?
You wouldn't know it if I said it.
You don't know that. I travel a lot.
Maysville, Kentucky.
Nope.
I was going to say,
All right,
I'm
exactly.
trying to circle back to my fight cards. I'm like,
You
God,
know
it
what?
starts with an M.
I'm driving through that area. We have some friends in Kentucky. I'm going on a road trip on Monday, and we're going up to North Carolina. But we're driving through because of some museum my kids want to go see. We're like driving around
Kentucky.
in that area. Yeah,
Kentucky's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
Very beautiful.
Most of it is. There's also parts that are really inbred. Was that?
What?
I heard.
Who said that? God
So
damn,
how old were you when you left Kentucky, and why did you leave Kentucky?
Shout out Rand Paul, by the way. He's Kentucky guy.
Motherfucker here.
What?
So I graduated at 17, started college at 17. So I kind of like left the house a little bit early.
Okay.
And then when I first started working for LA Fitness, it was in Northern Kentucky. And I started crushing it. Once I saw that like it was the more work you put in, the more money you made, that was like super incentivizing for me. And so from there, I got moved to Columbus, Ohio. And I think I was 22 at the time. And so that was kind of like my first big move because Northern Kentucky is an hour from home. I could drive home and, if I wanted to. And I was only in Columbus for like 4 or 5 months before they gave me an opportunity to run an entire market in Chicago. And that was like my first like big girl move, Like I went from growing up on a road that like didn't have lines to now there's 6 lanes going one direction. So I had this kind of like small town girl, big city moment. And I always knew that I was going to travel because I was just so curious and adventurous. And as much as love as I have for my hometown, I didn't want to be the person that never left. And that was, kind of what the majority of my hometown is, you marry your high school sweetheart and you have kids and their kids date, and it's just kind of, and
Start a
there's
meth
something
lab in
beautiful.
your house.
That's such a hard cycle to break.
meth in
too.
the garage
Like,
and-
growing up, I grew up right outside of New Orleans in a small town
Right.
where there's like 62 people in the graduating class. We had
What town?
Belchase.
Belchase, Louisiana,
Belchase,
right outside
Louisiana.
Lafayette. Boom.
Well,
I actually
further.
used to work in Baton Rouge and New Orleans too.
Yeah, see, it's a beautiful place.
It is
to
beautiful,
visit.
except for it's hot and humid.
It's it's hot and humid here.
San Antonio's pretty dry.
It is swampy out there.
Yeah.
And so I would see the same thing. I left when I was 17 because I didn't want to be in that circle of, hey, you're either going to work on a fishing boat, you're going to be a shrimper, or you're going to work at a refinery.
Louisiana's
Yeah,
full
you're
of that.
You're going to marry the high school person that are
Go work
or
at the
their
paper
friend
mill.
because y'all broke
The
up.
one that all your friends already dated.
Yeah. You're all running
Wasn't
through
for me.
the same people. It's
not for
it's
me.
okay. So how old were you? You were 17 when you left?
I was 17 when I graduated, went to college.
Your parents still there? Or?
My parents are still. So my parents still live in the house that they.
Oh, wow.
When I was born, same place.
Built with
So-
their own 2 hands.
Right, but my dad just
a mud hut?
retired, right? And my mom
it's a
retires
hut
next
out
year.
there?
So I think once they're done, there's a chance that maybe I get them out here in Texas.
Okay.
So
how long have you been here in Texas now?
Step up.
it'll be. So I moved to Dallas first. I've lived like all over. It feels like, but I've lived in Texas for a little over 2 years, and then it'll be San Antonio 2 years in August. So not too long, but it feels like home, and it is home now.
Okay. So you want them to come out here to San Antonio?
I mean, there's 4 cities in Texas. They can pick one. But it's driving distance, right? It's
4 cities.
4 of them. There's
4.
4.
She's not wrong. Like
There's like 4. Yeah.
you got somebody
they
where
can
you're
always-
from.
4 cities in Texas, and then there's a bunch of Marysvilles.
Yeah,
Texas,
and you
like
you
all
just
around those.
hey,
4.
where are you from? And you're like, if I say,
I mean,
say
you could
here, I
move
gotta
to
say something
Conroe,
big,
but you
yeah.
might as well just move to Houston.
Right.
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 I got you.
right, yeah.
In terms of like big cities, but
So how long have you been out there with Pete?
So, gosh, the story of how I found Pete was also pretty.
Hit us, bring it.
I'm about to.
Pete Spratt, the secret
no,
weapon,
but
UFC OG.
My former
That's
gym
what we're
might
talking
need a
about.
refill after the story, because I've not blasted anybody yet, but.
Oh, are we blasting?
All right.
Folks?
Please be prepared for blasting those
Right.
in the chat.
Are we still on IG Live?
Yeah, I got IG Live going right now.
Hey.
Matter of fact, Tyrese Ace Hill said, "Hey,
Oh,
Liz,
what's up? He's the one who actually split my eye open.
you son of a bitch!
Yes, 2 weeks before I was supposed to
You
fight.
son of a bitch, Ace."
But you know what? I didn't
that's
back
why-
out of that
that's why she
fight,
had to
even
back
though I
out.
had. Oh my gosh! Don't get me. That's another. Don't get me started on that one either. Don't get me started.
This is the time. The time for talk is now.
Shout out to Ace, man. We just got him signed.
He's gonna be July, right?
I've been trying to sign him for a while. We got him signed.
Badass.
He's ready to go.
You know, he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like he obviously while I was stitches and stuff, I didn't do much, so I got to watch him get ready for his fight. So, but no, when I first moved to San Antonio, they put me in an Airbnb, right? And I have 8 locations in San Antonio. So it was like that first month of just settling in, figuring out like everything in San Antonio was a loop. So just like navigating, and I was getting backwards a little bit in terms of directions. But finally, I found my central gym is where I wanted to live, because I'm like, all right, if I'm driving to 2 or 3 different clubs a day, I want to be somewhere central. That way I can try to find a gym nearby. And so I started off at a gym like right near the medical center, which was 2 miles from my house. And I was going there for about 2 months. And I picked that gym because Nancy was at that gym, and she was another girl that was an active female fighter and closest to my size. So I was like, all right, this will be a good, I think having good training partners is just as important as having good coaches.
Sure.
So I started going there, and I was there for like 2 months, and then things started to get really, really weird with the coach's wife. And long story short, not to like drag this out.
Dive deep. Dive deep
Oh
into
my
that
goodness. Well, I mean, so I was there, and never did I ever spend any one-on-one time with the coach ever. Like his sons were like close to my age. And anytime that I met her, I was always complimentary. Like I made a point to like, no, I'm here for fighting and whatnot. Cause I kind of got the vibe from the jump that she just was not comfortable with me being there. And finally, the day that I was coming to sign a contract to be at that gym, and we had a fight lined up and everything, she literally throws the clipboard at me, storms off, and I'm like sitting there like kind of debating and reading through this, kind of like, all right, I need to know what my cancellation rights are, because this is, if I'm not going to,
Wow.
And,
Awkward AF.
no, and so it gets even worse. The head coach comes over, and before I sign, he's like, I need to talk to you outside. And I'm like, okay.
Those are the best
So
conversations.
everyone in the gym sees me in there. They saw all that happen, right? They knew that I was coming in to sign, that a fight like lined up, and he straight up told me that his wife told him it was her or me. And so he politely asked me to leave his gym and not come back.
Oh, wow.
And to his like credit, he never did anything out of line. Like he never even gave me his cell phone number, which I understand now why. Everything was like communicated through a message or through an app. So I sat out in my car, and I was like very upset.
Yeah.
And so the coach that I used to train with in Dallas actually used to train with Pete back in the day.
Okay.
So I called him, and like might have been angry crying a little bit. Because I was mad. I wanted to start fighting again. Like since I started doing it, since my debut, it's like I've had one goal in mind. And it's get to the UFC and then take over, right? And so he's like, I used to train with a guy named Pete, and he sent me the information, and the rest is history, man. I walked in, and it was a match made. Like he's the right style of coach for the type of athlete that I am. And, he saw that I'm taking it serious, and he takes it serious. So
Doesn't have an insecure wife.
Does not have an insecure wife. Yeah, that's something I never thought I would have. Like I just still wrapping my mind around that.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
It is. It is very crazy.
Do you is there females there now at this gym with Pete, or like how's that work out for you now?
So believe it or not, our women's program is growing. So I that's something that's like I enjoy training with everybody, and I'm very lucky in the fact that I have a lot of male training partners that are my size.
Right.
A lot of them are going to be on the card, and CJ's there, and so there's a lot of really good 125 or 135 and 145 male fighters there.
Is CJ your size? I don't think
Well,
don't think so. I think
Shout out to
she's got
CJ Vergara, man.
30 pounds on it, maybe, or something.
Oh,
Hey, shout out to the homie CJ Vergara, man. A lot of love. That's my dude.
But he gives me good rounds, right? He's great on the feet, great at striking. Maybe I'm a little bit bigger than him. Gosh dang it! But
Slightly. It's okay.
We tried to move on from it, right?
Yeah, she went back to
Dragging
it.
her out.
It might be a little bit.
Fucking man.
So you're bullying CJ Vergara is what you're saying.
That's basically what I'm
Okay,
saying.
all right, I got you.
Right, shout out, man. See you tonight at practice, bud.
It's gonna go terrible
It's
now.
gonna,
So
He actually got
Don't
cleared
worry, this won't
yesterday,
drop for at
too.
least a couple of
Yeah,
days.
firsthand. So we're both ready to rock and roll.
excited. Former Fury 125 champion and winner of the #1 greatest fight of all time in Fury.
Ever.
Yeah.
In the history. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Jacob Silva and
Jacob
CJ
Silva
Vergara
and CJ
helped put
Vergara.
us on the map. It was an absolute banger of a fight. Shout out to CJ. So you've been there now with Pete for how long?
I think I got there November of 2022.
What's it like training with Pete? Because Pete has seen it all, done it all,
Right.
been everywhere. He's definitely one of those guys. I don't think he gets enough credit in Texas for his experience and the type of coach that he is. No. So tell us what it's like training under him.
I mean, it could be intense. Like so on Tuesday, I wasn't cleared yet, so I wasn't allowed to do the live sparring rounds. So it made it odd. And he puts on his gloves and shin guards, and all of my professional teammates hurry to match up with anybody but him.
Yeah.
And so I end up doing pad work with Pete because nobody wants to train with him, because he's still got it. He's still
I'll bet Pete's over there in the corner, like rapping real slow.
Oh, yeah,
like,
giving you this look of yeah.
Here's your time, guys. Y'all go pair up. Whenever I'm done, it's on. Whoever's left.
And he don't talk much, but so I think that's probably why he doesn't get as much credit as he deserves, because he's not out there tooting his own horn, you know. But I think he communicates very clearly. He's not gonna tell you something if it ain't true. He's gonna shoot it to you super straight. And I think the thing that I like most about it is he tells, I know exactly where I stand, and he's very consistent. I know, if I do this is what I'm getting back. So there's no inconsistency with him. And he you can tell that he takes it serious. It's not about, okay, I'll just take your money and whatever. If you're not about this, he doesn't want anything to do with you. So, I have a certain level of respect for that, because a lot of people sell out, and he is not a sellout, so I have a lot of respect for that. But every single day, I mean, it's he's one of my nose breaks, to be completely honest, because when my male teammates run from him, I'm like, all right, Pete, all right, you screw you guys, let's go.
Yeah.
So, but I think for me, if I can stand across from him, and as scary as he is, there's not a girl that I'm afraid to stand across from.
What's a typical training day for you during a camp? Like how many times you get to train? How much of it is split between MMA, Pete? How much is weightlifting?
So for me specifically, right, because I think everybody has their own version of fight camp, but I typically lift about 3 to 4 times a week. Obviously, as we get closer to the fight, the lifts turn into more plyo conditioning, functional stuff, and then I start implementing. So I'll probably, as we get closer to my fight camp, it's probably 3 days a week of strength training, and then the other 3 days a week are cardio and sauna, super early in the morning before work. And then on Monday, Wednesday, Friday is more of my skill and technique. So fundamental Muay Thai, fundamental Jiu-Jitsu, boxing. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have our MMA, fight team sparring nights.
Right.
And so when we're in fight camp, it's very intense. We're doing probably 5-minute rounds, 3 of big gloves, sparring, striking, and then the other 2 are going to be more grappling, little gloves, right? And then we finish out with multiple rounds of situations. So whether it's wall work and you're on offense the whole time trying to do a single leg takedown, or you're on defense trying to get up from. So we do something, and it switches up obviously based off of who our matchups are. And then at the end, if I can steal them for a little bit, I'll try to run through some situations with the girl that I'm fighting, if I know anything about her, kind of what to look for and some things to apply specifically to my fight. But yeah, each practice is pretty much structured that way, and it's a lot of conditioning, and you're fighting when you're tired. That's why I've never really had an issue with my gas tank in the cage.
Which came into play when your nose got broke.
It did, because I think I got better as the fight went on. So
to go back to that fight. It was the first punch. The first
1 minute and 2 seconds in, to be exact.
Yeah, the first punch that landed on you. And I remember because I got some great pictures of it. And I was and I remember in the moment going, oh, that broke her nose. And
I knew before y'all knew.
Well, clearly,
I
clearly,
knew.
yeah.
I was shocked when it didn't start bleeding right away, but yeah, I knew as soon as it hit, like you heard the cracking.
Was that so? Did your nose break during the Madison fight?
No.
Because those two fights, just wars. Like, you had just absolute wars in both of those fights. That's why I was curious, because you handled it so well. Like you didn't gas, you didn't, and you seem to really be able to, not protect. It's not a great word, but you kept a lot more damage from happening. You did a really good job of just kind of controlling the rest of the damage you took during that fight. What was going through your head when you were like, oh shit, I just broke my nose? First punch, wonderful.
Yeah. So as soon as it happened, I was like, I knew that it was broken. Gosh, this is going to sound so bad, but so the game plan was to grapple her. Like, I knew that she had 5 or 6 inches of reach on me. I knew that she had 10 plus years of striking, background. And I knew that I was the better grappler, but that competitive drive took over. When she hit me in the face, it was no longer, we're going to stick to game plan and win this and, submit her. It was, I'm going to break her face and knock her out. I'm going to get her back. Because I had not really gotten touched like that. And so that competitive, and it wasn't like a personal thing where I, felt that way towards her as a human being. But
it was personal in the moment. You wanted it back.
It was more, and it wasn't like her,
this
but
bitch
it was,
broke my nose.
Yeah, not like her, Maya, but like my opponent, right? And I wanted to have that competitive edge just kind of kicked in, and I was like, no, all right, we're gonna beat you at your own game. We saw how that ended, but that was a lesson learned. And I do feel bad.
It took you long enough to figure out you're the better grappler.
Now,
and take her to
I
the
knew
ground.
that I was the better grappler, but I wanted to beat her in her area.
I know, but I saw 30 seconds ago, you finally get her down and checking the back, and I was talking to Eric. I was like, God damn, she's gonna run out of time. She's finally got it, but she's gonna run out of time.
Make sure if I understand this correctly, because I have a very unique position as I'm over the top of most of the corners, and she's always the red corner, and I'm over the top, and I'm looking down, I'm listening to Pete talk to you. And I'm pretty sure he said, okay, let's put her on her back now.
He did.
And
so I do feel bad for making them look bad.
She comes out second round.
No.
Not one attempt.
No.
not one attempt at a takedown.
No.
And I was like,
I'm stubborn and competitive. Do what?
What are you doing, bartender?
What's happening?
Well, yeah, that's fine. But why'd you bring it back?
Because she's a leg it for her.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is Diego hammered already?
No,
are you
just
lost?
trying to be a gentleman. That's all.
Yeah, but then you stopped trying to be a gentleman. You were going to be a gentleman.
He used to going back and forth and figuring shit out. And he was putting together which drink needed to go where. He's got it. We got it. We got it.
Continue.
All right. So your nose is broken.
Right.
You're not listening to your coaches. You're being stubborn.
I'm listening, but
Diego
I'm choosing
won't pour
to
you
do.
a drink.
That's called not listening. That's called not listening. I can tell you, as a coach on the other side, that's called, oh, fuck me. All right, they're not going to listen. Glad you come to my class every day for my knowledge.
I paid for it when her hand got raised. Trust me, I learned my lesson 1,000 times over, and I was so fixated on winning that battle that I sacrificed the war. So I've had a lot of time to reflect on it, and all I have to say is I feel sorry for the next girl. I did.
Did you know going into the third that you were down?
To be completely honest, I thought that I won the second round. Now, I know if you're looking at it and you go back and watch it, okay, I could see how people who watched the fight and were in the fight, that second round could have gone either way because I was moving backwards.
Right.
I was hitting her more. I was landing more shots. I was throwing a lot of leg kicks that were connecting. I was just the more active fighter, but optically speaking, I had blood.
It was more strategic. Yeah, it was more, you were fighting a lot more strategically in the second than you were in the first.
And I get that the criteria is damage, and blood's probably the best representation of damage, but that literally happened 1 minute into the fight. Nothing else happened she didn't do anything else from then on out. And yeah, sure.
You're gonna oh yeah, because we're out of Sprite, but we purport parity.
We have Sprite if you want Sprite, but I think there's already some of this in there.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't know.
That'll work.
How was it?
It was good. I like the blue rise.
Okay, all right.
I like the blue rise.
So coming out of this fight, I definitely think this is one where you learned more maybe than in some of your other fights.
Yes. Yeah.
Whether it's a hard lesson to learn.
It is.
But sometimes it's one of those ones. As a coach, I've had fighters where I've sat back and went, "Hey man, how'd that go for you? No, that didn't go the way you thought it would, did you? Okay, great. So what are we going to do differently now?" And I agree with you.
I would not want to be in the locker room with him after I fought and I didn't listen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a lot of other like
I'll bet.
I think
old school coaches, man.
They knew that I felt.
Could you not hear
more
me?
Than what they
Sure.
could, you know.
Yeah.
Like they knew that I was going to be harder on me than they could, because right afterwards, like they asked me like how, you know, and I gave them the accurate response of like I didn't listen and like I paid for it. So it's one of those things that until you know, you don't know, right? And I had to learn the hard way, but I'd rather it happen my first fight and move on from it, because at least, you know, there are wins that I can take out of that.
Yeah.
I know that I can fight with a broken nose, right? And so it's like the mentality's there. And I'm still so new to this. You know, like I think she's been a professional fighter for longer than I've been fighting in general. You know, so there's a lot that like I can take away from that. It wasn't my night, and I don't think that I lost necessarily. I don't think she beat me, but I lost. We'll say that.
Sidebar. I heard she, I guess, she usually fights at 145.
Yeah.
She came in like 138 or something. I'm confused. Like she didn't look like a 145. Like, Olivia looked bigger than her. So I'm just like, how is she fighting at 145?
I think it was
me and Pete had a sidebar in the cage after that
I will
one.
say it's hard sometimes to judge the female divisions on the weights because of it's so hard to find a fight. And then it's so hard to get someone to show up. You see a lot of last minute changes, which you've been more than part of.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's like, well, I've got this 25er who's actually go up to 35, or I got this 35er who they can make 40.
Right.
It's just so much short notice that happens for fighters.
I just feel like they could have fought at 135, and Olivia wouldn't have had to
They could have, and that might have made a difference. I don't know. I know that. You know, I don't remember when we found her. Was it like 2 weeks out or a week out? It was.
No, she was the one I think that was planned.
It was very close. It was very close. Like I think y'all had somebody else.
No,
She wasn't the one that was planned.
I honestly
can tell
quit
you,
asking.
it was about a week.
I quit asking and kept training.
Thank you for that too.
Right.
It was about a week or so out. I think it was
Yeah.
very last minute.
It was. It changed a couple times. There was a couple different changes that happened, but it's so common. And just like I told you, when it comes to the heavier men's divisions and all the female divisions, it is the
Hardest
most
to match.
painful shit to match. I feel so sorry for even Mick at mixed level. It is so hard for him to make matches sometimes,
Right.
because there's just not enough of you. There's not enough. Miles Banks is running around. There's just not enough of these big and our female fighters. And I think with even as much as the growth that we've seen in female MMA, it's such a small percentage. Like when you go to most gyms and most successful gyms, there's very, very few female fighters, let alone just a training partner.
Right.
You know, so it's hard to judge the weight sometimes because they do get changed. But Michael Aswell, where's Eric? Eric didn't want to be here today. Michael Aswell, the 145 champion of Fury, who's making his Contender Series debut later this year.
Is Aswell chiming in? He must be on Instagram.
Yeah, he popped up on Instagram real quick.
Eric, that's his hangout.
Eric couldn't join us today as he was busy doing
Yeah,
family
he's
stuff.
he's too busy. He's getting a rub down on a beach somewhere in Tulum.
He got, you know what it was? He got lost in one of the sections of his house. And
that's
still they're trying to
possible
find him
too.
now. And I think they're like the fifth quadrant that they're able to actually pull him out.
He's stuck in the arcade. He's playing NBA Jam.
The elevator?
Got stuck. Yeah.
The elevator
The
got
wine
stuck.
cellar.
Yeah, for him to be able to get up. So like they got to get, it'll be a little bit of time, but he'll make it. He'll make it back
we
out.
sent the butler a text.
Yeah.
To go help him out, and we haven't heard back from the butler yet. So
No.
probably like going.
No, now to be fair, the butler's assistant is probably screening the calls right now, but like we'll get there. We'll get there. Shout out to Mr.
Hopefully
Garcia.
Eric's back in studio with us next week.
No, I doubt it. No, he'll be in studio. I won't be in studio next week. So he'll be.
Yeah, man.
he'll
I
be
didn't expect
here.
to see you here. I thought we were gonna have to shit can this week's episode, man. Thank you for being here, Rich Burmaster.
Yes.
Hey, listen. Hey, Olivia reached out.
We got to
Hey, I
have at
can
least
be there.
3 of us, I think.
She said she could be here. I was like, all right, I'll make a podcast this week. I'll make it happen.
Appreciate you.
So
Hey,
when you
he's quitting his job to be here today.
ooh,
No, I'm hiring.
I am not doing that. I am not doing that.
I kid. He's not. We make jokes. That's all I'm doing.
No, I will quit. I will quit everything today and walk away. I will not go back to the fitness industry. So you've been very blessed. I don't want to say blessed because you've earned everything you've done in your career. But how cool was it to know that Dana White was talking about the lady he met at LA Fitness? Like, let's bring her on. Mick had to be like, hey,
not just
amateur, man. Like,
not just talking about it. He like called Mick. Like,
No,
hey,
he FaceTime Mick and then handed me
whatever.
his phone. So then I'm FaceTiming Mick. And I'm like, and obviously, I'm coming off this massive high because I just won the fight the night before. Got my first ever belt, and the belts are legit. They're not like these cheap little things that a lot of other promotions.
Did Dana get to hold the belt? Did
He
you show
did. No,
Dana?
that's so
Dana held the belt. Like, holy shit, this is like real gold. Hey, let me
Right.
call
like,
Mick.
this is better than
he
ours.
assumed that it was a professional belt, and he didn't ask, so I obviously wasn't going to go out of my way to like correct him,
Right.
But yeah, so he came in and he was working out, and I still had the braids in. And mind you, this is the day after I just fought. I'm at work, right? I'm working the next day. And of course, all my employees, like, they think it's so cool. And so I brought the belt in, and he comes up to the front desk because he wanted to tag our gym. And that's when he sees the belt. And so then I obviously start talking to him. And
Strategically placed right here for you, sir.
What's up, Uncle D?
Badass. Hey, shout out Yum Yum.
you got to make the connection, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
First step's making the connection. You got to make the impression. And I think I did that. So
How good did that feel? I mean, for him to be like, Mick, check her out right now. Like, that had to be just a surreal moment.
it just validated that what I'm like. It just validated the whole experience.
Was Mick like, I know who you are?
You're on the right track. What
Mick's
you were
like,
doing
I've
mattered.
seen
You
you
were going somewhere with it.
Exactly.
Mick's seen you fight. He's not, hey, I know who this is. What are we doing?
I'm surprised.
Right.
Yeah, and didn't Mick tell Dana, like, dude, I think she's on the
still an
amateur side
amateur
or something,
too.
right?
Well, they were like asking me how old I was, how tall I was, my weight class, like, so that he was asking all these questions, but I don't
asking you for the back of the baseball card. Okay.
Right.
Right. I should have dropped the nickname then, but I didn't. Yeah.
Should have been like, some of these older, be like, yeah, I'm a professional. Sure.
Yeah,
Right.
uh-huh,
Right.
yeah.
You ready to
Yeah.
sign me?
right. I mean,
Yeah. They're undocumented fights. It's fine. Like, you'll be good to go.
I mean, but speaking of which, they're fighting at the KFC Yum Center. I literally told Peter, like, that would be perfect.
It's called
Yum
the
Yum
Yum
at the
Center?
Yum Center. Yes, KFC Yum Center.
Yeah,
Yum
it's
Yum.
like I think
yeah,
that ticker
in
symbol.
Louisville. It's in Louisville.
Publicly
know
traded. I think
that.
it's Yum. YUM. So
Oh, really? Oh, because
that's
it's Yum
Yum
Food
Brands
Group,
or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yum Brands.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, well, I think it's KFC, right? Like
Well,
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
So
or
Yum owns, I want to say, like Taco Bell,
Taco Bell,
and Long John
Pepsi, like,
Silver's.
The Yum. Okay.
It's
Yeah, it's
Yum.
like-
It's
But
Yum
one
Brands.
day I will fight in the Yum Center. That would be sick. Yum Yum.
You have to.
Yeah,
You have
Yum.
to.
KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell. Those are all Yum brands. Whatever Habit is.
I've never.
But they're not sponsors, and they ain't giving us any food. So
I don't think I would want any of their food.
I know, but
What's the last time you went to a pizza?
why are
Hut?
we even mentioning them?
Well,
Other than she wants to fight
Yum.
in their arena.
Yeah.
We got it
That's
in.
true. That's
Fuck
What's
those
your
guys.
what's your like? So, I always like to ask these questions of fighters. So, weight cuts done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the thing that you're craving the most outside of like what you need to get in your
right?
body?
Because you can't really.
Right.
So crumble and canes.
Okay.
Crumble and canes. Those
I
are
was
my
gonna say
two.
Canes.
chicken.
She's all
Like, if you
over
follow me-
Canes.
yes, and one of these days, I'm telling you, they're going to reach out to like, and I might never make weight again, but I'll be a happy.
I
camper.
can't believe
I'm
they're not a
telling you,
sponsor
I am
already. As much as you
passionate
tag
about
them and
canes.
shout them out.
like a bandolero belt full
Yeah.
of cane sausage. Yeah, what's up?
But no, I don't know. It's just so good. Like it, and I'll drive past it as I'm cutting weight. My stomach's growling, and like I get emotional. It's like, but it's worth it. It's worth it every time. I'd rather punch somebody in the face than eat canes, but it's a close second.
I'd rather watch you punch somebody in the face than
Than
eat canes.
I don't know.
Just
I mean,
FYI.
I'm sure I look pretty good eating canes. You can-
I mean, listen. I'm always thinking about how to make money, guys. So like, you can.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
I'd rather
gotta be a
watch her.
market for that.
I would
There has
rather
to
watch
be.
her punch people.
I think
than
we can
eat
we can
canes.
parlay this into either way.
We do need a good solid corporate sponsorship. Maybe we need to reach out to
To Canes?
To
and-
Canes.
Boom. Let's make it happen, man.
I know.
I'll put it on my list of everything else. Of everything else.
Their chicken is
Hey,
delicious.
dude, you know the president of Circle K. You can meet the president of
Yeah,
Canes
yeah.
also.
That's true. That's true.
I actually was on so whenever I went home for Memorial Day weekend, I was San Antonio.
Drunk. Oh, sorry.
Actually, I was not. The only thing my only negative complaint about San Antonio is that the airport is trash. There's no direct flights
Oh, it's
anywhere.
a terrible airport.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. So anyway, on one of my flights back to San Antonio, I get on, and who am I sitting next to? I'm sitting next to a guy in a Canes polo. You best believe that I was like asking questions to try to figure out, is this someone that can like put me in a situation to get that sponsorship?
What are your credentials,
Yeah,
sir?
no, seriously. I was like, what do you do? How long
Can I
do you
see
have a
your
company?
resume?
Like, he was on his laptop, so I'm
What's
like,
your
he's on
job
the
title?
laptop. I'm after Canes. Like
Yum Yum
that's-
slid in. She's like, hey, what's your name? What's your sign?
She
Hey.
went to the bathroom. Actually, had changed outfits.
Yeah.
No, I dropped
She's
it.
wearing her
I'm
fight
like-
shorts.
No, I brought it up. I was like, yeah, I'm a fighter. I love Canes. Like, it's my, and I'm like dropping hints, but he was not the right one to make that decision. There were 17 employees of Canes on that airplane. It was the best plane trip ever.
Hey, speaking of fight shorts,
Yeah.
you're selling some fight shorts.
I am selling
Yeah,
some fight
I-
shorts.
Tell
we
us
were-
about this number.
Yeah.
How this is going so
we
far.
were segueing to that. Yes.
So I have not sold any of my fight shorts ever before. And if you guys watch the UFC fights, that I forget her name, starts with an A.
I've seen the UFC fights before.
Yeah, right.
They're pretty good. Pretty
so
good.
the bantamweight fight, that she was like the second fight on she always twerks after, and she was selling her shorts.
Perez, Alina Perez, something like that.
Eileen or something. Yeah. Anyway, the girl who twerks. That's kind of what I know
That's
her as,
offensive.
right? The girl who twerks.
Have you thought about taking her gimmick?
twerking? I mean,
just-
I would want something different. Like that's already so played. No,
She's
that's, like,
pretty
so played
athletic.
out.
I don't know, like
I can-
athletes
no, I
can't
might
usually
think about-
move the same way as like
I can
twerkers.
tumble. I was thinking about like doing a flip or
Ooh.
something. I did the little ninja get up after that one fight.
yeah.
But I can still do my tuck. I can still do the splits. I can still do
Maybe
like
you could
handsprings.
kip up into a split.
Yeah, I could. So I've
Fucking
one of these
marketing
days
hats
we'll-
on, boys.
Right. So stay tuned.
Or
for-
we're in the midst of Rich Burmaster's fantasy. I don't know where we are. I don't know what's happening right now.
Kip up the splits, not high on my
we do need like a marketable pose or gimmick for you.
All right,
Okay.
so you saw that she was selling gear.
Well, so Pete actually sent me her little Instagram post, and I was like, you know what? I've not sold any of my shorts before, but I was like, screw them shorts. Like, I'm sick and tired of seeing them things. And so I was like, all right, F it. Like, we'll put it out there. We'll just to like see,
Right.
I didn't really expect much. I was like, all right, $200. Like, it'll at least, maybe pay for
Has
my...
the bidding started? Diego wants to know.
The bidding is started.
You trying to beat my top bid right now?
So what is your top bid right now?
So right now we're sitting at $1K for just
Oh!
the shorts alone.
That is so awesome.
Diego's got that beat. Yeah, look.
So I mean,
Come on, man.
1001. We'll take the cake.
Literally,
I got it in my car.
Wait, hey, when does bidding end?
Friday.
Friday. So we're,
Huh? You said-
as we
I mean-
record, it's Thursday, so we got about 24 hours from like right now. So we'll need to blast that online.
And I'll throw in a signed like shirt or something, but that'll end up going back towards
Hey,
X
I'll
amount
do-
of sessions with
some-
coach,
I'll do
so-
this. I'll do this.
Some
If you
sick
can,
pervert is going to end up with these.
They got
shorts.
blood on them still. That's like no.
if you can beat the $1,000, I'll throw in a free pair of tickets to your fight in San Antonio.
There we go.
Boom.
And you get the signed
Hey,
either shirt or
we're
hoodie.
not on Instagram Live or anything anymore.
No.
This
No.
will make it out.
Yeah, it'll get out on the podcast itself. But yeah, if whoever beats it, let me know. Send me their information, and I'll give them a pair of tickets to your next fight.
All right, there you have it, guys.
So, Diego, you don't qualify, but spend the money. Spend the money, Diego. What you waiting
For
on?
a good cause, right?
Yeah, it's for a good cause to go to her bills.
All right, that'll pay for pad work with my coach.
So this
And
is
your
the first.
personal enjoyment.
This is the first time that you've sold some gear.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the level of creepy that your DMs must
I
be
know,
as a
right?
female fighter.
Yeah, that's whenever I
can't-
saw
can't
she was
imagine
auctioning
that.
those off. I'm like, oh my god! And she was like, hey, there's still blood on them. I haven't washed them and all this.
How many
Like,
messages
oh my
you
God,
get like,
that's
don't wash
creepy.
them, don't wash them.
Don't
Right,
wash them.
right.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it because it's like I don't necessarily. I haven't watched them yet. I thought about it, but then it's like not like I'm gonna wear them to practice or anything.
Right.
I've thought about doing the whole shadow box thing, but honestly, I mean things are expensive. So I was like, if I can use this to pay for
By all
extra
means.
one-on-one sessions to like get ready for the next one. 'cause
Did you see what Charles Oliveira, Dubronx? Did you see what he's doing?
Oh, that you spend a week with him or something? Or,
Yeah.
Like fight week.
I think it was like 10K.
I don't know if that would be
Dude,
smart for me,
95K is
but-
what
Is that
somebody,
what it was, 95K?
Somebody ended up bidding
God.
95K to like hang out with him during fight week, like
Yeah.
the week before.
It was with
fight
him.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
That's
gonna
the
be sitting
worst.
in a sauna a lot.
That's the
and it's
worst
okay.
time to hang
Right,
out. with
exactly,
a
But
fighter.
you know
the
what?
least.
It's if you want to see what the real experience is
That's
like,
true.
and you want to be there and see it or whatever, and you want to pay the price.
And look, I've
What a sponsorship
I've
opportunity
been around
for
some
fighters, man.
some gold team weight cuts as being a part of the gold team for a while. everyone's got their shirts off. We're all together in a room.
Hey.
Right? What are we doing, guys? Why isn't all of us here?
It wasn't like a
Oh, yeah.
24/7 pass to hang out with them all. All right, we're gonna go sleep in the bunks together and all that. But I'm sure there's like, all right,
Cuddle in
hey,
the sauna.
from this time to this time, you come to our gym, you can watch the workouts or whatever. We'll go have, I don't know, maybe dinner after. I don't know, but for the week before, they're gonna hang out. I think what a creative sponsorship opportunity.
So
that more people should take advantage of.
So you're one of the few female fighters who are not on like a OnlyFans or like a Patreon or something.
Right.
What's kept you from going that route and having people ogle you outside of just IG? Okay.
Oh.
Fair
He
enough.
actually encourages me to like, do some of the foot stuff, but
How hard is it to walk that line of like whether you like it or not,
Right.
you're kind of like a sex symbol for guys who are into female fighters.
Right.
Like you're a kink, I guess, to guys.
yeah, I guess that would be the right way to
Yeah.
put it.
So like, how do you walk that line of I want to be taken professional, like I'm a fighter. I'm an
Right.
actual professional fighter.
Right.
Take me seriously, and also at the same time maximizing everything that can bring you in.
Very carefully.
I mean, so I'm in sales and business right now. So it's like I fully understand marketing, sales, and like I also am like I have like I know how to set boundaries, and I'm not gonna let somebody walk over me, whether it's in the cage or out of the cage. And I think like the way I see it is I can always opt into that.
Yeah.
The longer I hold out, the more the stock rises. I mean, that's kind of part of how I see it,
I love that. That is so
longer-
smart. The longer she holds out, the higher the price goes. So if you wait until like you're a UFC champ and then you start on OnlyFans or something,
Right. So
$1,000 a month.
I think you know what I think one of and we're helping it as a brand. People still think of OnlyFans as like, oh, that's porn. Like
Yeah.
if you have an OnlyFans page, there is a darkness that's overcast. Was like, well, you got to have your boobs out if you're on OnlyFans.
Right.
Well, but that's actually not true. Like you can literally take and I tell fighters all the time, take what you put on IG and put that on your OnlyFans, and maybe add, here's 5 minutes of me talking. Here's behind the scenes of me working out. Here's I'm making my shakes.
If more people took that advice,
Yeah.
they could monetize their online presence
100%.
and do it like on
Right.
OnlyFans, as opposed to Instagram, which I'm sure you can do something like. I think there's subscriptions on Instagram or whatever. But it's not the same.
It's not quite the same.
It's not the same. That's not what people like go to Instagram for or whatever. And OnlyFans is like so much more than the
I always tell
the lowest level of like what you were saying.
Yeah, man. I tell people all the time, especially, listen, if you have any type of, you're attractive, you are funny, you're creative. If you're any of those things, let alone a combination of those things, put yourself on OnlyFans. You only need 100 people to subscribe to pay your rent each month. If 100 people
what
subscribe,
about a mortgage? What's the mortgage looking like?
okay,
200.
Oh,
Maybe
then,
200.
So then you need
Hey,
one.
do you think you could get 200 followers on OnlyFans? I'm
So-
pretty sure you could.
So to give you an idea, like let's say that what's the average mortgage now? $1,500 a month, 2,000, 2,500 a month.
Probably around two.
$29.78.
It depends on hey,
3,000. We'll just say 3,000.
All right,
It
so
depends on what kind of house you have, when you bought it, and what your rate is and
3,000.
all that. But
3,000. So you need
like,
270.
Your average rent right now is around 2,000.
You need
so-
275 people to subscribe at $15 a month. How many followers you have on IG?
Done.
A little over 10,000.
Wow. What percentage
Do
of
you think you
275?
get at least
Like-
10% of them to follow you on OnlyFans?
And then again,
Yes, you could.
It's not. Felice Herring is a great example. She was always like the sexy MMA fighter. She's in the UFC. She's beautiful. All she posts is she'll post her working out, and then here's my feet. And I want to say she has like 500 subscribers. So she's probably making $6-7 grand
Is that
every
all? I would have
month
thought she would have had more.
without. Maybe she does without any.
I don't know. I'm not on there, but
Any. I mean, I run our OnlyFans. I have to. Yeah. So, but I think if you're creative with
outside of
using
Fury,
it,
I'm not on there. Is what I mean.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I want to say if you can, what's that other bank account over here? If you're creative and you use it correctly,
What's that gift card
I think
number?
that it can be a good tool to make money, but it's also you're walking that line of like your corporate life too, of like, hey, what's this on your IG? I'm sure. I mean, how does LA Fitness take you now as being this quasi celebrity from where you're from?
I mean, so I think it's been a very beneficial and positive thing for like at least the San Antonio market because it brings a lot of attention in the right because people know that I work for LA Fitness. You know,
Right.
Now obviously I had not crossed any like boundaries or anything
Sure.
like that, and so I only see it as like it's positive marketing, and there's a level of like influence that I now have that I can kind of use to mutually like benefit both sides of my life right now. But I do know that there's obviously, I'm sure that they're aware that, hey, like this is not just like a cute little hobby anymore. And
I was hoping we
That
could
li-
touch on that. It seemed like a while back.
That little
something
fighting
happened.
thing.
Yeah,
that little fighting thing
the
you
cute
do.
little fighting
Yeah.
thing, right?
Oh, what's that little fighting thing you do? And
Yeah.
it's like you're kind of you're on a rocket ship, kind of. I mean,
What do you think changed?
You're
that?
going somewhere
What do you
with
think changed that? Where maybe they stop people, not just your work, but people stop looking at it as this is something she's trying, or this hobby, or this is the next phase.
The next, right. I just think that the
not everybody
consistency-
comes to check out Dana White at their cute little hobby.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
True.
I think that, and that's part. I guess part of it is like I want to be known for what I can do inside of the cage, and not like I want to establish like who I am as a fighter first before, I start establishing who I am as whatever else.
Sure.
Because I think that as a woman, like in the fitness industry or in fighting, like you've always got that kind of. That thing that you're up against, right? And so I think that for me, it's like I want to let my fists do the talking first, and then we can see, what opens up from there. Like I'm not shutting any doors. Like I'm obviously.
You also have to strike while the iron is hot.
You do have to strike while the iron's hot, but the iron's only getting hotter. So
Nice.
you
Well,
know.
since she's not. Oh, she doesn't see you. She doesn't see you over there looking for the. She was trying to get you a fist bump from you.
God damn,
So listen,
pal.
since
I thought I was like,
since she's not gonna go that way, we're gonna do 20 toes and no hose OnlyFans, and it'll just be me and Diego feety pics, no hose. We're gonna have 7 people subscribe, and they're all like my students probably. as well.
Diego's on his best behavior today. I'm proud of
Yeah,
Diego.
where are you on your best behavior today? Do you have any questions for the champ?
I think Diego sobered up over there. He
What
got
advice
quiet.
would you give someone wanting to enter into MMA,
Don't
being
do
a
it.
female?
Oh.
Yeah, besides don't do it.
Besides, no, I think that go somewhere where you feel comfortable. I think for me, I've not really had any negative experiences. And
Outside of the Dallas branch of whatever the place was. The jealous wife.
well, that was
That
here
was
in
San
San Antonio.
Oh, was it? Oh.
That was here in San Antonio. Yeah. So, they're lost. That's like, you just destroyed your business. I know what I'm going to bring to the table.
Yeah.
And, this is just the beginning for me. Like like I told you, win, lose or die, like I'm gonna still keep moving forward. So, but I think my advice would just be like, do it. Like, you can think about it, you can plan about it, but go somewhere and try out a class. One thing that I've learned is like, I've been the new girl at like 7 different places now. I cross train a lot in Austin, and I have never not been welcomed in. If you are open about this is like where I'm at, I'm brand new. People go out of their way to like help the new person. It's not like that. I'm a new girl in school and like you get that. Like people like enjoy helping that new person, because if you're passionate about it and you're like, and you love it, you want to share that with somebody else. So, and if you're in San Antonio and you're thinking about getting involved, come to RPBJJ, right? And I'll personally work with you. Like, for me, it's something that I love the sport, and I love sharing the sport with other people because I know what it's done for me, internally and externally, and I think that, if more people knew what it was like to get into a fight, there'd be so many less weak-minded individuals in the world.
Right.
I think a lot of the problems with society is that you've got so many weak men and women, but so many weak men that
Bitches. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
it's just you do like, and so I think I really firmly believe that, especially men, that every man should get into a fight at least once.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way to know where you stand. And it's easy to be a keyboard hero, but when you get punched in the face, you find out who you really are.
Fighting is good for the soul.
It is.
Like it really, because you learn a lot about just like who you are.
Yeah.
You learn about like obstacles and what you can overcome, but also, look, there's nothing better than being able to walk into a room and know that like, hey man, I'm fine. Like
Yeah.
you can talk all the shit
Right.
you want.
Right.
You can't whip
Well,
my
and it
ass.
puts-
I ain't worried
it
about
puts
it.
all the
I'm having
little things in
flashbacks to a
perspective.
conversation we had about somebody that I know that you know that
Oh.
they said some things to you. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll fuck you up or whatever.
yeah.
And whenever you told me he said that, I was like, what?
Hey, remember I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think you
Right.
can.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
door is
goddamn.
open. I have waivers.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
I almost wish you would have taken you up on it so
Yeah.
you had more of a story. But
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
great. But I agree with what you're saying. Like you go to these gyms, and listen, if you're at a new gym and they're not welcoming you, and the
at the wrong
team
place.
isn't
Leave.
Oh,
walking
yeah,
up,
100%.
At the wrong place.
we have a standard like at my gym, and we haven't enforced it in years because it's just become part of the culture. A new person walks in, everyone says hello to that new person.
Yep.
We go over and say hi. You go out of your way to be the person who's going to be their
Absolutely.
partner and drill with
Absolutely.
him.
It's
'Cause you
so
wanna get better.
intimidating as a new person to walk
It can
into a
be.
gym.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just on the surface, I mean, that alone is a huge factor in
Yeah.
welcoming somebody in.
I think it tells you a lot about the team as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
You know, I can tell you the first time that we were doing something over at Pete's, and I forget why we were there. We might have been doing weigh-ins, might have been taking pictures. I don't remember why we were there, but I got there early. And everybody was these people didn't know who I was. This was like 2010 or I don't know when it was legacy days. Like they didn't know who I was. I was just walking in the gym and everyone was so nice.
The real legacy days.
The real.
They were all like super sweet and accommodating and wanted me to feel like I felt like I should be there.
Yep.
And listen, you got to have good teammates to be great at this
It's a family.
individual sport.
It is, absolutely.
Is there any, before we get out of here, let's talk about some sponsors. Anybody you want to mention and thank?
Well, I definitely want to give a shout out
There
to Live Oak. Hey, cheers to that, right?
Boom. Deep roots, strong branches, live oak.
Shout out to
Texas vodka, baby.
I've been very blessed with, especially local sponsors. And then I have some sponsors from back home as well. Live Oak is obviously one of them. Probably the most interesting sponsor that I have is Kendra Lust. That was something I didn't expect,
Okay.
right? Did not expect. But
All right.
she has been, and not just like, all right, here's money, but like, she communicates. And
Advice.
Right. I mean, she's very involved, I guess, in women's combat
That's
sports,
awesome.
right? So that was kind of interesting. And then, I'm KO Reps has, kind of made some connections for me as well. And then I got a lot of local San Antonio sponsors. I have Total Body Regen. They can handle like all of my recovery. So after, the
broken nose.
Right. So I was doing localized cryo, I was doing whole body cryo. And I think that people don't realize like what all goes into like that 5 to 15 minutes that you see us out in the cage.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, a prep that's going into that. You have to be totally ready to go. I have a mobile massage therapist, Myoscape, that will come and like make sure that right week beforehand, all the knots from camp is kind of ready to go. And then I've got some like sponsors from back home even. So that's one thing, like my hometown community, they are, I think, proud and excited because I think I'm the first from my town. Like we didn't even have wrestling 2 years ago at my
That's
high
awesome.
school. So I do feel very blessed to have the support of my friends and family. Obviously my gym and my teammates, and then Fury. Like you guys have been so good to me, and I think good for my career as well. So I have nothing but respect and appreciation because it might be me out there in the cage, but it takes an army to get me there. So that doesn't go unrecognized, and I appreciate you guys.
Hey, where can the fans listening learn more about Yum Yum?
Well, I'm pretty active on social media. I try to because I know that's part of it is it's not just, what happens in the cage, but like who you are as a person leading into that. So I just recently changed my Instagram handle to Live Yum Yum. So 2 V's, Yum Yum. I post a lot on that. And then, obviously I have Facebook for those that aren't really into Instagram yet. Don't really have
For the
any
older crowd.
don't
For
really
the
have any of
grandpas out there.
the fun, spicy links. But, I think that my Instagram's spicy enough. So.
Well, I can tell you from here at the Fury family, it has been awesome to watch you rise through the amateur ranks. And, like I've told you before, the brightness of your star, you don't have any idea how big it's going to be just yet. And when we all sit here and we talk about like the future of the sport and the future of watching people go, like you're in that conversation. You're in that group of like, these are going to be not just Fury stars, but like UFC superstars. And it's exciting to be a part of that journey here with you at Fury. And we can't wait for you to be able to leave us.
I told Eric I'm going to be the first female that Fury sends to UFC, and I'm going to stand by that statement. So.
Love it. Wayne, let's do it.
Let's go. Hey, guys, with that, Diego, nothing? That's it? Hey, guys, the time for talk is over. This has been Fury Unleashed.
Your mama.